Thank you. This talk is about both crack initiation and propagation, and we basically want to know if you have a notch for crack initiation or if you have a crack in propagation, if you need to worry about the stress gradient along the thickness. So can you perform a 2D calculation, or do you need to go to 3D in order to do that? So most solutions for notches, they are based on the 2D approach. So you're not going to consider, most of the time you're not going to consider the 3D model. You might consider a constraint factor, for instance. And for cracks, you can use like Ewing-Westergaard solutions, stress intensity factor solutions. However, you get some limitations. For once, most of these solutions are 2D. You might need to use constraint factors to consider plane stress or plane strain. And in this way, you don't study the gradient effects along the thickness, which could be important. In addition, also, case solutions, they have some limitations because they are not valued far from the crack. So they do not tend to the nominal stress, they tend to zero, and this can also change a bit the calculations. So there are not many works on 3D calculations dealing specifically with the study of the stress gradient effects along the thickness. One of them are from Wu, and they worked stress concentration factors for notches, and they saw the difference at the surface or at the mid-thickness. And you also get some old work by Professor Parks, which deals with cracks and then tries to find the stress intensity factor along the crack tip through the thickness, along the thickness. However, it used a case solution. So on the boundary of the finite element calculation, he assumed the case solution, which has problems because it's not going to consider the nominal stress, which the stress should tend away from it. So in this way, these solutions, they're fine for long cracks or thin plates, but we want to study also these effects for shorter cracks, not necessarily microstructurally short, but shorter cracks and thicker plates. So the objective of this work is to identify 3D effects caused by thickness in notch plates, and then go to cracks, identifying 3D effects in straight from cracks, and then we are going to try to find the curvature, the tunneling effect of this crack based on this idea, and we get some interesting results there. So the main contributions are the crack tip linear elastic stress calculated using the submodeling technique, finite elements, avoid the decay hypothesis, simplifications, and allowing for the study of shorter cracks. Actually, you could also study short cracks if you consider some corrections like the Aladat-Hopper-Smith parameter that reproduces the Kitagawa-Takahashi diagram. Then you can also use linear elastic calculations to predict the growth of these short cracks. We've done that in the past. And we also want to study the steady state crack from curvature, the tunneling effect that you get from these thickness calculations. So here are the 3D effects on the stress concentration factor for uncracked plates. So you have a notch there, and what you can see is that for thin specimens, you get basically the mid-thickness, you're going to get the maximum stress or strain concentration, and actually as you get to the surface, it's going to decrease. However, when you have thicker plates, what you see is that you have a maximum value of the strain or the stress. It is the strain and the stress concentration factors. They are not on the surface, they are near the surface. So actually, you have three quantities of interest there. The value of the stress is the mid-thickness, the value of the stress is the maximum values, and also the values at the surface. And these calculations, we actually reproduce the calculations from Google. There's not a contribution for the notch. We just were validating our finite element calculations. so it can go to the crack problem. And you also extend it a little bit, studying more cases there. So if you have sharp or blunt notches, you're gonna have different effects on that. And actually the critical point location can change from the mid-thickness to the surface. So what you would expect is that for thinner plates, the critical points would be in the mid-thickness, for thicker plates would be at the surface. And the other thing is that you can have an increase of up to 8% of the stress in the y direction of the strain, here the stress. This could be significant for crack initiation, but actually it's not so much, because in the end there's a compensation in the von Mises parameter. So the von Mises actually evens out, and this 8% in that direction, actually the von Mises calculation is much less than that. However, for crack propagation, this is important, because now this stress in this direction is going to have an influence on the propagation of this crack. So here just a few more data on the notches. Let's go straight to the cracks now. So here is how we conducted the calculation. Why are we using linear elastic calculations? We've worked with both linear elastic and elastoplastic finite elements. The things that we want to validate, most of the calculations, they're based on linear elastic hypothesis. If you have a small plastic zone, so since our group is focused on finding and predicting fatigue life, we need to see if the classic methodologies based on linear elastic fracture mechanics, if they can be applied. So we have a global analysis, so we have a rougher mesh, and then we calculate the conditions and perform a submodel in 3D where you can have very refined elements in there. And in this way, we don't need to use any K1 solution as Professor Parks did a long time ago. So actually on the border of that small submodel, we are not assuming K1 solutions. The solution from our previous calculation with a rougher mesh. And this works very fine, very well. You just need to make all the deformations compatible, all the displacements. And then this is what we get. So this is the distribution of the K1 divided by the K1 that you get if you perform the 2D calculation for that thickness. And what we see here is very interesting, is that you have, this is Professor Park's solution. Actually is only valid for long cracks or thin plates. And you see that in the mid-thickness you have the maximum K1. Actually on the surface it should tend to 0, but you need to have a very refined mesh to get to 0. So actually our analysis did not change with the resolution that we chose. And here are the solutions for other thicknesses. So if you have a very thick plate, what you're going to get is that the maximum stress intensity factor for a straight crack, assuming that this crack does not tunnel, it would be actually closer to the surface. You have this peak right over here. And this would be the mid-thickness value. And actually this behavior is very similar to the one that we did for the notches. So you see they have a kind of a similar behavior, having the maximum value near the surface if you have a thicker plate. So what next? So we can see here that's the long crack solution from Parks. That's when you have a very thin plates. So B is the plate thickness. So if you have very thin, we could achieve the Parks results. Once you get a thicker plate, you actually find that the maximum stress intensity factor is different than this long crack, this 2D solution. And also the mid plate is different, and actually it's lower, these values. But still, they are higher than the 2D solution. So we have to be careful about that. So one could think, well, it's higher than the 2D solution, the mid plate, the thickness, but tends to 0. Maybe it could even out. However, the crack changes shape. So that's our next analysis. Just before that, this would be the restriction. That would be the stress in the thickness direction, divided by the sum of the other two stresses. And what we found is that this restriction is actually depends if for short cracks or thick plates, lower, for long cracks or thin plates, it's higher. And what we can find here is that for relatively long cracks, they converge to the function only of the distance from the crack tip. So actually the parameter that controls this restriction it's the thickness of the plate for long cracks or thin plates. Once you get thicker plates, actually, so for relatively short cracks, the parameter that controls this restraint is the crack sizing, not the thickness. So when you have too much thickness, actually you saturate this constraint factor of the thickness, and the parameter that controls is the crack size itself. But then the interesting part is simulating what the crack will do due to this change, this variation in the stress intensity factor along the crack front. And we can have two effects, the crack tunneling and the crack anti-tunneling below. And we're going to calculate that by using the stress intensity factor solution, adopting a crack propagation equation, for instance Perry's law, or a more improved equation, and then we're going to slightly increase the crack size along its front proportionally to the ADN, and then we're going to remesh, recalculate again, and to calculate all the transient effects that happens in there. And we did that with Frank 3D together with Abacus. So we did all this modeling, very refined modeling, and we did the step-by-step growth of this crack. And these are the parameters that we use in this simulation that I'm going to show. We did a lot of simulations. And here's the result we got. So this is very interesting. This is the evolution of the crack front. So initially you have a straight crack, and actually you can see that right at the beginning it has an anti-tunneling effect. This is the mid thickness, this is the surface, and actually you're going to have an increasing tunneling effect until it converges to a tunneling shape. And this is the K1 you get. Initially the K1 is not equal, it varies along the crack front as we saw in the previous slides. But as the crack changes shape, it changes to an ISO K1 value. So it tries to get the same K1 along the crack front. And so this tunneling effect happens while the crack is trying to get this ISO K1 value from the roots. And so these are some other calculations, other simulations as well. So these are the shape that you get. And this is also the evolution. So you see that the K1 that you get here, it actually increases to about 6% above the 2D value that you get from the 2D calculation. So this is very significant because now, if you consider a straight crack, you're going to have some value of K1 that varies along the crack front. However, when you allow it to turn, you're going to see that it tries to follow an ISO K1 value, so all these points along the crack front will try to follow it. These are some experiments that Professor Jai is going to talk in his talk right after this one. And the interesting thing is that with these calculations, assuming of course the plastic is always small, we can perform an inverse analysis. And actually from the crack front shape, you can try to find what is the driving force of this crack. Because if you assume that in the steady state, all these points will have the same driving force, then you can find out which driving force it is. Is it delta K? Is it delta K effective from crack closure? Which one of them? So actually this tunneling effect was for the Perry's law with exponents 2 and 4 that we simulated. It depends only on the exponent of Perry's law. If we consider, for instance, near threshold regime is also going to depend on delta K threshold. And if you consider crack closure, it's going to depend as well on the crack opening. However, when we did this analysis, we found out that our crack was, its driving force was delta K, not delta K effect. So actually this shape was the shape that we predicted only with delta K without considering closure effects, even though this was with a very low R ratio with closure that we measured. So closure is there, but it was not controlling the ADN, or at least from this inverse problem point of view of saying that the shape, the tunneling effect, is going to tell us which is the driving force here. So, conclusions. 3D effects were observed in stress fields around notch and crack tips. For notches, you have up to 80% error in the analysis, but that's not much of a problem, because when you equate the von Mises value for the crack initiation, actually this value becomes much lower. So this is just the stress in the direction of the applied nominal stress. The complete 3D linear elastic stress field was obtained for straight front cracks with different thickness, different ratio between the thickness and the crack size. The influence of the far field was considered. Actually, we saw that it's important to consider the far field in the results, not using a K1 solution. For long cracks, the maximum stress is at the center. For short cracks or thick plates, the restrictions, the maximum stress is close to the free surface. And also from the propagation of initially straight cracks, we found that it tends to some tunneling effect of about 2.5% of the thickness. This was for several simulations. And also we can explain this, can tell us which is the driving force, which will be the subject of Professor Jaime talk. Thank you.